The Ministry of Rural Development has launched the Lab to Land initiative for enhancing the effectiveness of development program implementation by building leadership, by disseminating knowledge, and by encouraging innovations. The objective of this initiative is to build a collaborative, knowledge and innovative community and to demonstrate that such a knowledgeable community can ensure full attainment of all the objectives of all the schemes of rural sector. The Lab to Land initiative envisages creating village-level cadre of volunteers, that is, Bharat Nirman volunteers, to churn social mobilization for accelerating rural development. The Bharat Nirman volunteers are expected to assist the community in relating to government functionaries and panchayats at various levels and liaison for effective delivery of all the services to the rural people. The main purpose of creating this village-level cadre of Bharat Nirman volunteers is to establish close contact with the rural households and help them relate to development delivery officials, generate awareness among people about government programs and the procedures to avail those benefits, promote legal literacy among the people about their rights and entitlements under various acts and schemes, improve the quality of implementation of government programs by active facilitation with departments concerned. The crux of the Lab to Land initiative is to involve the Bharat Nirman volunteers in nation building activities and to form the last mile human connectivity, or if you like, the last household human connectivity. Wide publicity was given for recruiting Bharat Nirman volunteers through various means. Applications in prescribed format were obtained from aspiring candidates. Suitable number of Bharat Nirman volunteers in each village were identified after thorough scrutiny. 2,000 Bharat Nirman volunteers were identified from 78 villages across the state with the help of the district administration, Gram Panchayats, Mandal Parishad development officers and district training managers. Since Bharat Nirman volunteers are expected to undertake a host of activities in their villages, a solid foundation training is required to build their capabilities for achieving the objectives of Lab to Land, that is, KICAP initiative. In order to design a suitable training program, APAD had conducted a training need analysis through a series of workshops at various levels, focus group discussions with Bharat Nirman volunteers and other stakeholders, administering questionnaires to Bharat Nirman volunteers to know the training requirements. Realizing the fact that dealing with youth and motivating them to take up nation building activities is a gigantic task, APAD had designed a new training module encapsulating a host of participatory methodologies. Various topics like poverty, unemployment scenario in India, Millennium Development Goals and their status in India, nation building, personality development, fundamental duties of citizens, all of the rural development programs, roles and responsibilities of Bharat Nirman volunteers, community action for community development. These were identified as the core content for the training program. Reading material, short films of 2 to 3 minutes duration were exclusively tailor-made for these trainings. Documentary films on beacon panchayats were also made available. It is well known that training in a congenial environment yields good results and ensures transfer of learning at workplace. Keeping this in mind, APAD had decided to organize 3 days foundation training program to Bharat Nirman volunteers at Hyderabad itself. APAD held a video conference with the principals and faculty of all the extension training centers, along with district training managers, MPDOs of select mandals, extension officers of Panchayat Raj and Rural Development, Gram Panchayat secretaries and sarpanchas of all the 78 select villages, and briefed them on the strategy designed under Lab to Land KICAP initiative. They were requested to send the Bharat Nirman volunteers for foundation training program at APAD. The district training managers helped mobilizing the Bharat Nirman volunteers from villages and to bring them to APAD. APAD had identified experienced trainers and powerful mass communicators from institutes of repute like Vande Mataram Foundation, Lead India Movement, Prajapita Brahma Kumaris, Vishwavidyalayam, NIRD, Usmania University and a host of other institutions to inspire and enthuse the youth. APAD faculty, including the commissioner, were received with rapt attention. Sarpanchs of Beacon Panchayats were also invited as guest speakers. The interaction of Sarpanchs of Beacon Panchayats had ignited the minds of Bharat Nirman volunteers and instilled a sense of competition among them that led to setting up of program goals for their Gram Panchayats all by themselves. Sessions dealt by Professor Hanmant Rao on role of Bharat Nirman volunteers, Professor Lakshman on personality development, Sister Sheila on spirituality and rural development, Professor Sudarshan Acharya on role of youth in nation building, Sri Ravindra on patriotism were well received by the Bharat Nirman volunteers. Thought-provoking films on Beacon Panchayats like Gangadevi Palli, Haji Palli, Ramachandrapur and inspiration films like Tum Chalo To, Hindustan Chale. Short stories on charity and trust have triggered an urge among Bharat Nirman volunteers to do something in their village for their communities.
మాకు కొన్ని క్లిప్పింగ్ చూపించారు. గంగదేవిపల్లి అని, సీదేడి అని, రామచంద్రాపురం అని చాలా విలేజ్లు ఎలా డెవలప్ అయ్యాయో కళ్ళకు కనబట్టుగా చాలా చక్కగా వివరించారు. మా గ్రామాన్ని కూడా ఆ గంగదేవిపల్లి, సీదేడి గ్రామాల్లాగానే స్క్రీన్పై రాష్ట్రమంతా చూపించాలని సంకల్పంతో నిశ్చయించుకున్నాము.
Computer-based tutorial on the roles and responsibilities clarified many doubts of the Bharat Nirman volunteers. APAD had collected some case studies on Beacon Panchayats like Gangadevipalli, Pragati Nagar, Enubavi, Ramachandrapur, Pandurangapur, Jegurupadu, Hivre Bazar, etc. for the purpose of this training. The participants were divided into 5 to 6 groups and a case study on a Beacon Panchayat was given to each of them. 5 participants from each group were asked to read the success story loudly and the rest of the group was asked to listen carefully and deliberate on each subject that contributed to the making of a Beacon Gram Panchayat. The case study method adopted by APAD has generated a good debate and it has made every one of the Bharat Nirman volunteers to actively participate and discuss the factors leading to success of all the villages that they saw in the case studies. Then, a plenary with all groups was organized and each group was asked to present the salient features of the case study and analyze factors which led to achieve such a success in that particular case study for the benefit of other groups. The Bharat Nirman volunteers had meticulously prepared a detailed note on their deliberations and made remarkable presentations. Having come to know that APAD is organizing training programs for youth on nation building from our website, 7 students from BITS Pilani approached APAD to attend the 3 days Bharat Nirman Volunteers training program. They were of course welcomed.
We are from BITS Pilani and we have come here to work in the nearby villages. Through this program called KeyCap, we have learnt a lot about the different government schemes which can be implemented in the villages for their development. And this program has been very informative towards our organization. And we had learnt really a lot of things. We want to take back all this information to the villages and we want to create awareness about the different government schemes and inspire them and create volunteers in them.
Honorable Minister for Rural Development, Andhra Pradesh State Government, Shri D. Manikya Varaprasad, who has been continuously bestowing his personal attention and extending his support for successful implementation of Lab to Land KeyCap initiative, has been gracing the plenaries in these trainings and sharing his experiences in rural development with the Bharat Nirman volunteers. His interaction with the Bharat Nirman volunteers exhorted them to transform their villages and achieve people's participation in decentralized planning, execution and monitoring of all government programs. This unique methodology adopted by APAD has fully galvanized the Bharat Nirman volunteers, and at the end of the training, all the Bharat Nirman volunteers reaffirmed their commitment towards transforming their villages into 100% success villages and assured us that the Millennium Development Goals will be transformed into a reality in their respective villages.
గ్రామంలోని ఉన్న యువత ఎంత ప్రోత్సాహం ఉంటేనే గ్రామం అభివృద్ధి చెందడానికి వీలు ఉంటుంది. అలాంటిది అపార్ట్ వారు గ్రామీణ నిరుద్యోగత యువతను ఈ విధంగా తీసుకొచ్చి ఇలా ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చి గ్రామాన్ని అభివృద్ధి చేయించడం అనేది చాలా మంచి కార్యక్రమం. మా గ్రామం భవిష్యత్తులో ఎంత మంచి స్థాయికి చేరుకోవాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాం.
In order to sustain the training effort, APART had made certain administrative arrangements too. 5 senior faculty members, each visiting one of the 5 extension training centers, oriented the extension training center faculty on KeyCap, conducted handheld study visits with each of the faculty to the districts assigned to them. Subsequently, these link officers of the extension training centers will make weekly visits to involve the select villages in Friday dialogues and handhold those villages into the KeyCap process. The district collectors were asked to utilize the services of the village level cadre of Bharat Anman volunteers for effective implementation of rural development programs. The trained Bharat Anman volunteers made a firm commitment to APART that they would plunge into action to strengthen the implementation mechanism relating to all the development programs in their Gram Panchayats. The Bharat Anman volunteers are looking forward to 1st November, that is Andhra Pradesh State Formation Day, to assemble at the state capital and showcase their contributions for the development of their villages. We wish them well.